You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, I got to go to this story right here, the last one before we leave, and that is a Ball State University professor called the cops on a student who declined the teacher's request that he move desk during the middle of class. Here's what took place.
Are you in this class?
Yeah.
What should I have to talk to you about?
I'm just asking
Well,
him to
sir.
sit here because you said
Did you want to sit?
no, that's fine with me. But you said I'm not going to.
My laptop is on the charger.
No, if he sits here, that's fine with me. But you know I'm not going to sit. I do whatever I like to.
All right, you want to sit here or do you want to leave?
Why am I moving in the middle of class? He legit stopped the class to try to move me. I've been back here on this PowerPoint.
Are you being disruptive in the class?
No, I'm not doing nothing. The whole class, the whole damn class is here.
He's
It's
been
cool.
on the
It's
lesson
cool.
the whole
You know
time.
what? I'ma leave.
He's been on our work the whole time with a plug.
I got some
He hasn't
stuff over
said
there.
or done anything wrong.
He has not said a word.
Well, I said a word.
The PowerPoint, he's done
I
nothing.
don't know what the fuck you messing with, boy. What I do, you want to, whatever your name is, take it up to the
Hey,
dean.
it's
Go
cool,
get your
man.
backpack.
Yeah, don't even worry about it, boss man.
Okay.
Backpack.
All right, even though the student Sultan Benson was not being disrupted, the professor, Shaheen Borna, stopped in the middle of a lecture to ask Benson to move his seat. He gave him the option to either move or have the police call. Ball State President Geoffrey Mearns called the professor's call to police a gross error in judgment. Pam, what the hell?
Defiance. It's defiance. That is the essence of so many confrontations that we see between people who either have authority or think they should have authority, and their inability to get an African-American person or a young person or a Latino person or whoever, they can't get them to comply. And so they call the police to enforce their authority. And the only reason they do that is because they simply cannot stand the idea of their authority being challenged and thwarted. That's what's going on here. I don't think it's more complicated than that. He didn't have, at the end of the day, what would have happened if he had just let it go and let the guy sit where he was sitting? What would have happened? Nothing. But he would have had to swallow the pride of having his authority challenged and not being able to back it up. And that's really so he calls an officer, right? And we've seen so many things on Twitter, Roland, by now. So many examples of people confronting black people in places they don't think they deserve to be, they shouldn't be, they're sleeping in the wrong place, they're picnicking in the wrong place, they're selling lemonade. And every single time the answer is the same. Call the cops to enforce my authority.
I don't get this. I don't get this, Lauren. You go into a classroom, it's open seating, it's no assigned seating, and you stop a lecture. No. You move here. No. You move here.
The saddest thing, Roland, about these things that we see is how small people's lives are. That it comes down to, I have to have this moment of control so badly that I've called armed law enforcement to waste their time on nonsense. And what it shows you is that I just think that a lot of people just live these like really boring or really small lives where that moment of control and power has to be exercised, that becomes like the thing, It's embarrassing. And this guy is like a marketing professor that has an MBA that's supposed to be some expert in PR. And he's too stupid to realize that there's going to be somebody in the class filming this. I really appreciate the voices in the background of that video defending the guy that didn't want to move. But it's just so stupid that people, that their lives are so, I guess, boring or whatever, that they got to bring everything to these weird moments. And really, social media has sort of opened a window into how small people's lives are. I mean, that you can't catch yourself and say, hey, wait a minute, this is not really a big deal. The guy could just sit back. Like, who cares? But it's amazing. It is amazing.
Mel, now is the time. I really want to see a video where a cop goes, You call us over
Right.
this bullshit.
Right.
We
That's coming.
got real stuff happening.
Right.
We got real stuff happening. You know what? No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Here's the deal. If you file a false police complaint, you can get charged.
Right.
I'm sorry. If somebody calls the cops on some dumb bullshit,
Right.
this is where the cops should hit your ass with. I'm writing you up.
Right.
And it should be. And what law did I violate? You called me on some stupid shit.
Right.
So you getting a ticket.
Right.
I mean, some of y'all are like, okay, why he cussing? Because I'm sorry. This is, you call 2 police officers.
Right.
Because a student wouldn't switch desk.
Right.
Melik, final comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll co-sign what Pam said. This was a challenge to his authority. And that's really what this was about. Whether he would have done it if the person were black or white or Hispanic, I think that this is an issue that's specific to this guy. His authority was challenged. As you said, there is no assigned seating in class. So the notion that somehow, for one, that he asked him to move is already bad. But then you call the cops, and I don't know if they were campus security, but either way, an extension of law enforcement is what they were. I'm actually going to go back and look and see, because I would be interested in the cops' reaction, like if there's like a later reaction, because to me it seems like those they weren't those rogue cops who were coming in, trying to pull him out of class or something. It seemed like, and at least based on the response from the class, that they may have seen that this was actually some BS. I think that, and not particularly with law enforcement, I think that the school should actually hold that professor accountable for that, because he ended up causing a disruption while trying to call the cops to remove a disruption. It's a stain on the university. It's a stain on their program. And I think that the school itself, and I don't think that the professor should be fired. I will say that. I don't think the professor should be fired, but the school should definitely take some type of action, because what if other professors decide to do this this same thing? They don't like someone sitting in a seat, so they're going to call the authorities in order to get that person removed. It's ridiculous. It's BS.
I'm sorry. It's total BS. It's total BS.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Congressional Black Caucus has put out an emergency call for national African American leadership. They'll be holding a summit February 3rd and February 4th in the nation's capital. On February 3rd, it will take place at the Hyatt Hotel in Washington, D.C. On February 4th, it will take place on Capitol Hill. A number of workshops and sessions are planned. It is all focused on the 2020 election, the Democratic primary, but also the fall election, as well as the U.S. Census, which is taking place. And so if you go to this website for more information, cbc.house.gov/2020, cbc.house.gov/2020 for more information.
Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.